There are days when the body refuses to move, when every limb feels like it's been burdened with an invisible weight that presses down harder with every passing second. The alarm rings, its shrill tone filling the silence of the room, dragging you from the edge of a restless sleep. Sunlight spills in through the window, casting its golden light across the room, but you can't seem to summon the strength to rise. Your body is still, your mind is foggy, and there's an overwhelming sense of heaviness that refuses to lift. The world outside your window keeps moving, as if life is continuing without you. Yet here you are frozen, caught in a moment that seems to stretch endlessly. You're not lazy, you're not weak, you're exhausted, caught in the middle of a battle that no one else can see, no one else understands. It's a struggle that can't be put into words, a battle that's not fought with swords or shields, but with a soul that's been worn down by the relentless pressures of life. There's a feeling of emptiness, a sense of being drained from the inside out. This is not ordinary fatigue, it's spiritual depletion, the kind of weariness that seeps into your bones and makes every step, every breath, feel like an uphill climb. And yet, despite the crushing weight of it all, you find yourself lying there, still, wondering why it's so hard to even move, to simply exist in the world as it spins around you. If you clicked on this video, it's no accident. You're here because you are a chosen one. Even if you don't fully understand it yet, the very fact that you've come across these words means something bigger is happening in your life, whether you realize it or not. What you're feeling, the struggle that's been quietly wearing you down, is not a sign of weakness. It's not a sign that you've failed. It's the result of something much deeper, a spiritual battle. You've been carrying burdens that no one else can see, hidden struggles that you've kept to yourself because the world doesn't understand. The weight of your invisible battles is immense. It's easy for others to look at you and assume that you're simply tired, that you're just having a hard day, or that you're being lazy. But what they don't know is that your exhaustion is not just physical, it's spiritual. You've been quietly collapsing under the weight of spiritual battles, under pressures that have left your heart heavy, your mind clouded, and your spirit yearning for rest. Your bed, which should be a place of peace, has transformed into a battlefield, a space where you feel isolated, alone, and misunderstood. But even in that place of stillness, in that dark corner of your life where no one can see, God's presence remains constant. His presence is unwavering, quietly sitting beside you, even when you feel as though you're alone in your struggle. And though you may feel like you're at the end of your rope, this moment is not your defeat. It's a part of your preparation for something greater, something beyond what you can currently comprehend. This is not the end of your journey. It's the beginning of something bigger. The spiritual exhaustion you're feeling is not a sign that you're losing the fight, but rather an indication that you are in the midst of a divine process. The moment of stillness, when the world seems to have paused around you, is not a sign of your failure. It's a moment of preparation. You are being shaped for a breakthrough that will come at just the right time. You may not see it now, but everything you're going through is preparing you for something far greater than you can imagine. You see, the world often measures success by external factors, how busy you are, how much you've accomplished, how much you've achieved. But God's measurements are different. His timing is different. He sees the inner battles, the struggles that no one else can see. He understands the weight of the burdens you've been carrying, the ones that have drained you of your energy, your joy, and your peace. And while the world may not recognize the fight you're in, God does. He's been with you through every silent tear, through every moment of doubt, through every time you felt as though you couldn't go on. His presence has been constant, even when you didn't feel it, even when you were sure you were alone. This moment of stillness, this moment where you feel exhausted and broken, is not your defeat. It's your preparation for what's coming. Just as a seed must be buried in the soil before it can sprout and grow, you too are being prepared for a season of growth. It's in this hidden, quiet season that God is doing the work in you that no one else can see. He's refining you, strengthening you, and preparing you for a breakthrough that will come at just the right time. Though it may feel like you're stuck, like nothing is changing, know that something powerful is happening beneath the surface. The waiting, the stillness, the exhaustion, these are not signs of failure. They are the signs of a transformation that is taking place in you. You may feel like you're fighting an invisible battle, like the weight of your burdens is too much to bear. But let me tell you this. You are not defeated. You are not being crushed by the weight of your struggles. You are being refined. You are being prepared for something bigger, something greater, something that will bring you into a season of breakthrough and restoration. God is not done with you. This is not the end of your journey, it's just the beginning of a new chapter. So, if you've found yourself in this place of exhaustion, if you're lying in bed feeling like you can't go on, know that it's okay. It's okay to rest. It's okay to feel tired. It's okay to acknowledge the battle you've been fighting. But don't let that exhaustion define you. Don't let it convince you that you're weak or defeated. You are being prepared for something incredible. And every moment of stillness, every moment of exhaustion, is a part of that process. Your breakthrough is closer than you think, and when it comes, it will be bigger and more beautiful than you could have ever imagined. So, take a deep breath, chosen one. Rest in this moment, knowing that God is with you, even in your exhaustion. He's using this time to prepare you for what's ahead. You may not see it yet, but trust that the breakthrough is coming. You are not alone. You are not forgotten. You are being prepared for something greater than you can even imagine. Keep going. You're closer than you think. There are moments when the weight of the world presses down on you so intensely that it feels like your body can no longer function. Your muscles ache, your mind is clouded, and your spirit is heavy. You lie in bed, feeling utterly drained, as though every ounce of energy has been siphoned away. You can't explain why, but you know this isn't just a typical kind of tiredness. This is something deeper. This is something spiritual. It's not just your body begging for rest, but your very soul crying out for reprieve. The exhaustion you feel isn't the result of physical labor or a lack of sleep. It's a weariness that cuts deeper than any physical tiredness you've ever known. This is spiritual depletion, and it's something that goes unnoticed by those around you. To the outside world, everything seems calm. You may appear to be doing nothing at all, lying still, taking a break, or just resting. But what they don't see, what they can't understand, is that in that stillness, you are engaged in a battle. This is no ordinary fatigue. It's a battle fought in silence, unseen and misunderstood. The war you are waging is not fought with fists or weapons. It is fought in your mind, in your heart, and in your spirit. It is fought on the battleground of your thoughts, your emotions, and your sense of purpose. And the truth is, this battle is just as real as any physical fight. In fact, sometimes, it's far more exhausting because it's hidden. It's not visible to the outside world, and no one can see the toll it takes on you. The weight you're carrying may be invisible to others, but it's very real to you. It's a weight of unanswered prayers, of hidden burdens, of silent struggles that no one understands. People may look at you and assume that you are just lazy, just tired, or maybe even indifferent to the world around you. They may think that you're simply avoiding life or that you've given up. But what they don't see is the war taking place beneath the surface. The quiet struggle to keep going, to keep breathing, to hold on despite everything inside you telling you to give up. This exhaustion is not a sign of weakness, it's a sign of resistance. You are resisting forces that are trying to break you from the inside out. The struggle is real, but so is your strength to endure. This silent battle is more than just emotional or mental. It's a spiritual war, fought in the hidden places of your soul. It's the fight to maintain your faith, to hold on to hope when everything around you feels dark and hopeless. It's the struggle to keep moving forward, to keep standing when all you want to do is collapse and let the weight of your burdens pull you under. The enemy knows that if he can make you feel isolated in your battle, if he can make you believe that no one understands or cares, then you will be easier to defeat. He attacks your mind with lies, making you doubt your worth, your purpose, and your calling. He whispers that you're not good enough, that you're too weak, that you'll never make it through this. But the truth is, these battles are just as significant as any outward fight, and the fact that you're still standing proves the power of your resilience. Behind closed doors, where no one sees your struggle, the war intensifies. The quiet moments are the hardest. The moments when you are left alone with your thoughts, your emotions, and your fears. This is when the battle rages the most. The voices in your head tell you that you're not enough, that you're failing, that you're not strong enough to carry on. These voices are not just words. They are weapons designed to wear you down, to make you question everything you've believed in. They make you feel like giving up is the only option, like retreating from the fight is the only way to find peace. But in those moments, when you're on the edge of despair, there's something inside of you that refuses to give up. It's the resilience of your spirit, the quiet strength that refuses to be broken. Even when you can't see it, even when you don't feel it, you are still fighting. And while the world around you may not understand, it doesn't mean that your struggle is any less real. The battle you're fighting is not one that requires physical action. It doesn't need to be seen to be significant. In fact, the most powerful battles are often the ones fought in silence. The victories that take place in your heart, in your soul, in the quiet moments when no one else is around, are the victories that matter most. You are fighting for your peace, for your joy, for your faith, and for your purpose. These are not small battles. They are the very essence of your spiritual journey. Every moment you endure, every time you rise up despite the exhaustion, you are winning a battle that no one else can see, but that God sees and honors. In the midst of this unseen struggle, there is also a hidden power that you may not even recognize. The fact that you are still here, still breathing, still holding on, is a testament to your strength. You may feel like you're falling apart, like you're too tired to keep going, but the truth is, you are enduring. The battle that you're fighting is refining you, preparing you for something greater. It's shaping you into the person God has called you to be, even if you can't see it yet. The exhaustion you feel is not a sign that you are losing. It's a sign that you are being stretched, that you are being refined, that you are becoming more than you ever thought possible. The world may see your stillness and assume you're just resting. But in reality, you are doing much more than that. You are holding on. You are resisting the enemy's attempts to wear you down. You are fighting to maintain your humanity in a world that tries to break you. The war you're fighting is not one that can be seen with the naked eye, but it is just as real as any physical battle. And even though it may feel like you are alone, God is with you. He sees the battle, and He is fighting alongside you. He has not forgotten you, and He is using this time to prepare you for a breakthrough. You are not alone in this fight. This hidden war, fought in silence, is the place where your greatest victories will be won. It is where your strength will be forged, your character will be refined, and your purpose will be solidified. The enemy may try to convince you that your struggle is in vain, that your exhaustion means you've lost. But the truth is, this is where your true power lies. This is where you are being prepared for the breakthrough that is coming. So, even when the battle feels overwhelming, even when it feels like you can't keep going, know that you are not alone. You are fighting, and you are winning. When you were chosen, you weren't simply selected for a task. You were chosen because you carry something sacred, something far beyond the average person's capacity to hold. The weight you feel in your spirit is not a sign of your weakness, but an indication of your divine calling. The world may not see it, but you are being prepared for a purpose that will shake the very foundations of everything you know. You may feel like you're crumbling under the weight of it all, but in truth, this pressure is what forges your strength, solidifies your purpose, and prepares you for a breakthrough that's unlike anything you've ever imagined. The calling on your life is not an easy one. It wasn't meant to be. It was meant to stretch you, to challenge you, to push you past your limits. The burdens you carry are heavy, but they are not meant to break you. They are meant to mold you. God has entrusted you with this weight because He knows that you are capable of bearing it, even when the world says otherwise. The truth is, this burden isn't for everyone. It's not for the faint of heart. But you were chosen, not because you're stronger than others, but because you're willing to endure what others cannot. God didn't choose you because you were the strongest in the room. He chose you because He knows that, through His strength, you can carry what He has called you to do. In this process, you are being forged. The fire, the pressure, the struggle, it's all refining you. You are being molded into something powerful, something that will one day make sense of all the pain and struggle you're going through right now. You might not see it yet, but everything you are enduring is working for your good, preparing you for the greater purpose that lies ahead. The weight of this calling is heavy, but it's not meant to destroy you. It's meant to refine you, to sharpen you, to make you into a vessel that can carry the purpose God has planned for you. You were chosen to carry this burden, not because it's easy, but because you have the strength to endure it, even when you feel like you're on the edge of breaking. Even in moments when you feel tired and broken, remember this: your strength is in your resistance. The fact that you are still standing, still holding on, still fighting, is proof of the incredible strength within you. This strength doesn't always show up as physical power or loud, noticeable actions. Often, it's the quiet decision to keep going when everything inside you tells you to stop. It's the small acts of faith, the tiny moments when you choose not to give up, when you choose not to bow to the overwhelming pressures around you. This is where your true strength lies, in the quiet perseverance that no one sees but that God honors. Your greatest weapon is not always something visible. It's the decision to keep going when you're exhausted, to keep fighting when you feel like you can't. The resistance you show, the determination to not give up, is the power that will carry you through. Think of the great spiritual warriors in the Bible who faced moments of incredible fatigue and struggle, yet never gave up. These figures show us that even the strongest can experience spiritual and emotional exhaustion, but it's in those moments of weakness that God's strength shines through the most. One such example is Elijah, the prophet who called down fire from heaven, defeating the prophets of Baal in a spectacular display of God's power. Yet after such a victorious moment, Elijah fled into the wilderness, exhausted, afraid, and ready to give up. He cried out to God, asking for his life to end. He was drained physically, emotionally, and spiritually. But in that moment, God didn't rebuke him. Instead, he met Elijah where he was, providing food and water and giving him rest. God didn't abandon Elijah in his moment of exhaustion. He strengthened him, not because Elijah was weak, but because God knew that Elijah's next chapter required strength that could only be built through rest and renewal. Similarly, the prophet Jeremiah, known as the weeping prophet, faced rejection, ridicule, and unrelenting pressure. His heart broke for the people of Judah, but his message went largely unheard. His grief was so deep that he cried out in sorrow, questioning why he had been called to deliver such a difficult message. Even the strongest can reach a point where their spirit feels overwhelmed, and it is in those moments that God's presence is most needed. Jeremiah's struggle, his deep emotional and spiritual fatigue, was not a sign that he wasn't chosen. It was evidence of the deep burden he carried for God's people, and it was through that struggle that he became the vessel God needed him to be. And then there is Jesus, the ultimate example of enduring spiritual and physical exhaustion. In the Garden of Gethsemane, the night before his crucifixion, Jesus was so overwhelmed by the weight of his mission that his sweat became like drops of blood. He asked God, "If it is possible, let this cup pass from me." In that moment, Jesus was tired, vulnerable, and emotionally worn out. Yet, he chose to continue his mission, embracing the cross even when he was broken in every way. Jesus knew that his purpose required endurance, even in the face of overwhelming pain. His moment of struggle didn't negate his calling, it affirmed it. The weight of his calling was immense, but it was through his willingness to press on that he fulfilled his purpose and secured the victory for all of humanity. The examples of Elijah, Jeremiah, and Jesus remind us that fatigue, struggle, and spiritual exhaustion are not signs of failure. They are signs that you are carrying something sacred. The weight you feel is evidence of the calling on your life. Just as these figures were called to endure great struggles for a greater purpose, so too are you being shaped through your own struggles. God is not calling you to be perfect, to be unbreakable, or to be without weakness. He is calling you to endure, to resist, to press on, even when you feel like you can't go any further. It is through that resistance that God's power is revealed. Just as Jesus needed help carrying the cross, so too do you. You are not meant to carry this burden alone. God is with you every step of the way. strengthening you when you feel weak, renewing you when you feel drained, and reminding you that your struggle is not in vain. You may feel like you're carrying the weight of the world, but God has chosen you to carry it because He knows that with His strength, you will be able to endure. Your calling is not an easy one, but it is one that will shape you, refine you, and bring you into a season of breakthrough that will be worth every moment of struggle. So, when you feel tired and broken, remember that your resistance is your strength. Your endurance is a testimony of the power that lies within you. You are being shaped into a vessel of divine purpose, and the weight you carry is preparing you for something far greater than you can imagine. Even in your moments of exhaustion, even in your deepest struggles, know that you are being strengthened. You are becoming the person God has called you to be, and His strength is made perfect in your weakness. The truth is, your fatigue doesn't make you weak. It makes you real. There's something raw and honest about the weariness you feel that speaks to the deep, unseen battles you've been fighting for so long. The weight you carry, the struggle that seems to drain every ounce of strength from your body, is not a sign of defeat. It's evidence of your perseverance. It's proof that you've been in the trenches, fighting battles that no one else has seen, fighting wars that are fought not with swords or fists but with your spirit. No one sees the moments when you wanted to give up, when the world felt too heavy, and you felt like you were breaking under the weight of it all. But even in those moments, you kept going. You kept fighting, and that is where your strength lies. You might look at yourself in the mirror and wonder if you're strong enough, if you've got what it takes to keep pushing forward. But the truth is, it's not about never feeling weak. It's not about pretending that you're invincible. The strength of the chosen ones isn't in the absence of fatigue, it's in their ability to keep moving forward despite it. It's in their ability to rise each time they fall, to breathe in the midst of exhaustion, and to press on even when every fiber of their being tells them to give up. You've been fighting battles that are not always visible. These are the wars within, the internal struggles that don't leave scars but take their toll nonetheless. You've been carrying burdens that no one else can understand, feeling things others don't, and yet you continue to move forward. This isn't weakness, this is resilience. Your tiredness is the result of being in the fight of your life, and that's something to be proud of, not ashamed of. It's easy to get caught up in the idea that being tired is a failure, that rest is something to be avoided, something that signals weakness. But this couldn't be further from the truth. Rest is not a sign of failure. It is an invitation to slow down and heal. The world tells you to push through, to keep going at all costs, to never show signs of weakness. But God's invitation is different. He calls you to rest, to take time to heal, to renew your strength. Even the chosen ones need help. Even the strongest warriors must take a moment to pause and breathe. You were never meant to carry the weight of the world alone. God has designed you for community, for connection, and for support. Rest is not something you should fear. It's something you must embrace. In the moments when you feel like you've given all you have, it's okay to take a step back. It's okay to be still and allow God to restore you. The idea that you must constantly be on the move, constantly fighting, is a lie. God's work is often done in the moments of stillness, when we are quiet enough to hear His voice and gentle enough to receive His healing. The call for rest is not just about physical restoration. It's about spiritual healing. You cannot pour from an empty cup, and you cannot continue to fight a battle when you've neglected to nourish your spirit. This is why rest is so essential. It's not a luxury, it's a necessity. It's not an indication of failure but a step toward victory. The greatest warriors know when to rest, when to step back, and when to allow themselves the space to be restored. This is the rhythm of life that God intended for you. Even when you feel like you can't go on, even when the pressure seems too much, He is offering you rest. He is offering you peace, not as a sign of defeat but as a tool for renewal. You are not meant to carry the burden of life alone, and God doesn't want you to fight your battles without His help. Rest isn't just about taking a nap or sitting still. It's about surrendering, about acknowledging that you can't do it all on your own, and allowing God to fill you with His strength. In those quiet moments when you feel the weight of it all, when you're lying in bed, overwhelmed, exhausted, and spiritually drained, you don't have to hide your weariness. The most powerful prayer isn't always the one that's spoken with grand words or eloquent phrases. Sometimes, the most powerful prayer is simply a cry of vulnerability. Sometimes, the greatest act of strength is to admit that you are tired, that you are struggling, and that you need help. In those moments, surrendering is not a sign of defeat, it's an act of trust. It's saying, God, I can't do this on my own. I need you. I need your help to carry this burden. Surrender is not weakness, it is the gateway to divine healing. It's in letting go of the need to control everything, in releasing your grip on the fight, that God's power can enter. When you surrender, you open yourself up to His peace, His grace, and His healing. Think of the moments when you've been at your lowest, when you felt like you couldn't go on. Perhaps you didn't have the words to pray, but you simply cried out to God in your heart, "Help me." Maybe you didn't have the strength to do anything more than lie there, exhausted and broken. But even in that stillness, even in that vulnerability, God was there. He saw your heart, He heard your cry, and He responded. He always responds to the cries of His children. Your vulnerability is not a weakness. It's an invitation for God to come in and do what only He can do. When you let go, when you release control, you make room for divine healing to take place. You make room for God to restore you, to strengthen you, and to renew your spirit. In moments of exhaustion and vulnerability, remember that you don't have to have it all together. You don't have to fight the battles on your own. Your most powerful moments aren't the ones where you have it all figured out, but the ones where you surrender, where you trust, and where you let God work in your life. Your strength comes from your willingness to acknowledge your need for God, your willingness to rest in His presence and allow Him to restore you. It's time to stop hiding your exhaustion, to stop pretending that you have it all under control. It's time to stop pushing yourself beyond your limits because you think that's what's expected of you. You are human, and part of being human is knowing when to rest, when to surrender, and when to allow yourself to be healed. It's okay to admit that you need help. It's okay to acknowledge your vulnerability. In fact, it's in those moments of vulnerability that you will find the greatest strength, because when you are weak, He is strong. When you let go, God can step in and do what only He can do. Rest is not failure, it is divine invitation. Vulnerability is not weakness, it is strength in surrender. And when you embrace these truths, you open the door for God's healing and restoration to flow into your life. You don't have to carry this burden alone. You were never meant to. So, let go, surrender, and trust that God will meet you where you are, renew your strength, and equip you to continue the fight, stronger than ever before. There's a profound truth that often goes unnoticed when we talk about spiritual exhaustion. The hardest battles are fought in silence. The very place where you should feel safe, your bed, has transformed into a battlefield. What was once a place of rest has become a war zone, a place where your soul struggles to breathe, your spirit feels crushed, and your mind is locked in an endless fight. The stillness that should bring peace has become heavy with the weight of internal warfare. There is no sound of clashing swords or booming voices, but make no mistake, there is a battle raging in that stillness. The spiritual warfare you are facing does not always manifest in visible ways, but it is no less real. The weight of your exhaustion isn't just physical. It's a war against forces that are trying to silence you, to paralyze you, to make you believe that you are defeated. In the stillness of your bed, the very place that should provide peace and rest, your mind is bombarded with thoughts, fears, and doubts. The voices in your head speak louder than any external noise. They tell you that you're not enough, that you'll never make it, that you're wasting your time. These internal voices are persistent and unrelenting, making it feel as though the battle is never ending. You lie there, trapped in a cycle of self-doubt, questioning your worth, your purpose, and your ability to move forward. Every moment of stillness feels like a reminder of how far you've fallen, or how much you still have left to do. It's in this silence that the enemy whispers his loudest, feeding you lies that threaten to drown out your sense of hope. The struggle in stillness is a struggle of the mind and spirit. It's not that you want to lie there. It's not that you're lazy or unwilling to get up. The truth is, you're in the middle of a fight, one that no one else can see. While the world may think you're simply resting, the reality is that you are resisting something far greater than mere fatigue. You are fighting to keep going when your mind is telling you to quit. You are fighting to hold on when your spirit feels like it's unraveling. The stillness in your bed may feel like a prison, but it's in that very space that God is working in you, preparing you for the breakthrough that is yet to come. The internal struggle you face is often louder and more intense than any external challenge. The fear that grips your heart, the doubts that cloud your mind, and the whispers that question your worth are often the most difficult enemies to face. These are the battles that don't leave physical scars but leave invisible wounds deep within your soul. These are the battles that happen when no one is watching, when you're alone with your thoughts, when the world outside is moving on but you feel stuck in place. The enemy knows that if he can control your mind, if he can keep you trapped in the prison of your own thoughts, then he can stop you from moving forward. But here's the truth. The voices you hear in your head are not the truth. They are lies meant to hold you captive. And the more you listen to them, the more paralyzed you will become. It's easy to get caught up in the cycle of negative self-talk, to believe the lies that tell you you're not good enough, that you're not capable, or that you're too weak to carry on. But those whispers are not the truth. You are not defined by your doubts, your fears, or your struggles. What you are facing right now is temporary, and the victory that lies ahead is far greater than anything the enemy tries to throw your way. You are not a prisoner to your thoughts. You have the power to break free from the chains that bind your mind. The fight for survival is fought in the silence of your soul. You are not lying down because you are lazy. You are lying down because you are resisting. The true battle is not about physical movement, it's about fighting to keep your spirit alive, to keep your hope intact, and to keep believing in the promise that God has for you. Even when you feel paralyzed, even when the weight of your exhaustion seems unbearable, you are still fighting. The very fact that you are still here, still breathing, still holding on, is proof of your strength. You may not see it now, but every moment of struggle, every moment of resistance, is shaping you into the person you are meant to be. Your greatest battle is fought in the quiet corners of your mind and spirit. It's not always about fighting visible enemies or physical obstacles. It's about resisting the lies, the fears, and the doubts that threaten to overtake your thoughts. It's about choosing to keep going even when everything inside of you tells you to stop. And while the struggle may feel overwhelming at times, know this: God is with you in that fight. He sees the internal battle that no one else can see. He knows the weight of your exhaustion, the depth of your struggle, and the courage it takes to keep fighting when you feel like giving up. When you lie in bed, paralyzed by exhaustion, know that you are not defeated. You are not giving up. You are resisting, and that resistance is the very thing that will carry you through. Even when you feel like your strength is gone, even when you feel like the fight is too much, God is holding you in that stillness. He is strengthening you in ways that you cannot yet understand. The battle may seem endless, but it is not without purpose. Every moment of struggle is preparing you for what's to come. The enemy may use your silence to attack, to whisper lies, and to make you feel isolated. But remember this: even in the stillness, you are not alone. God is with you, standing beside you, fighting on your behalf. The internal battle you face is not a sign of weakness, it is a sign of your strength. The fact that you are still fighting, still holding on, even when you feel paralyzed, is proof that you are a warrior. Your fight may not always be loud, but it is no less significant. You are winning, even in your stillness. So, the next time you find yourself lying in bed, feeling trapped by your thoughts, remember that you are not giving up. You are resisting, and that resistance is your power. You are not paralyzed by laziness or weakness. You are fighting a war that no one else can see. And though the battle is invisible, the victory is just as real. Keep fighting, even in the silence. Keep holding on, even when the struggle feels overwhelming. You are not alone. You are stronger than you know. And with every moment of resistance, you are moving one step closer to the breakthrough that is waiting for you on the other side of this battle. True rest is not about escaping the fight, but about learning how to trust God in the middle of it. In a world that praises relentless hustle, achievement, and pushing through, no matter the cost, the idea of rest often feels like a luxury, something only those without a greater purpose can afford. Yet, divine rest is a sacred act of resistance. It is not retreating from the battle or surrendering to the enemy. Rather, it is surrendering to God's will and allowing Him to carry the weight you were never meant to bear alone. Rest, in the divine sense, is an invitation to cease striving on your own and allow God to take the burden that you have been carrying. It's a courageous choice to put down your weapons, not because you are giving up, but because you trust that God is fighting on your behalf. When you rest, you aren't backing down from the war. You are acknowledging that you don't have to fight it alone. In this stillness, you are allowing God to step in and do what only He can do. You are giving Him the space to move in your life and bring the victory that He has already promised. This kind of rest requires faith. It is an act of surrender that says, God, I trust you with what I cannot handle. I trust you with my pain, my exhaustion, my future. It's not about avoiding the fight, but about surrendering the outcome to God. When you rest, you release the control you've been holding so tightly to and recognize that it is in His hands where it belongs. This is the ultimate form of spiritual resistance. Not to keep fighting in your own strength, but to stop, let go, and allow God to fight for you. The world tells you that rest means giving up, that it means you're weak or incapable. But divine rest is the opposite of weakness. It is the strength to admit that you cannot do it all on your own, the courage to rest in God's embrace, and the trust to believe that He will carry you through the battle when you are too weary to continue. The more exhausted you feel, the more vital it becomes to rest. You may not realize it, but in your surrender, you are actually resisting the enemy's lies. You are rejecting the notion that you must handle everything yourself. True strength comes when you recognize your limitations and allow God to take over, knowing that He is capable of doing what you cannot. In your darkest moments, when the weight of the battle feels unbearable and the exhaustion threatens to overtake you, God's presence is there sitting beside you, watching over you. Even when you don't feel it, His constant love and mercy are surrounding you. There are times when it may seem like God is silent, when you feel abandoned in your pain and weariness. But rest assured, He is with you. His presence doesn't depend on how you feel. It is constant, steady, and unwavering. In the stillness, He is there, offering you grace and mercy, even when you can't find the strength to ask for it. God's presence in your life isn't something that fades when you feel distant or broken. It is constant. He sees your struggle, even when no one else does. He knows the depths of your exhaustion, the battles you are fighting, and the weariness in your heart. And though you may not always feel it, He is right there with you, never leaving your side. His presence is what carries you through the darkest moments, even when the world tells you to give up. God does not abandon you in your pain. He is sitting with you in your exhaustion, gently reminding you that you don't have to carry it alone. When you rest, you open yourself to His presence, allowing Him to fill the space that your own strength can't reach. In this stillness, His peace enters, and His grace begins to cover you. There is a kind of rest that goes beyond physical sleep. It is a rest of the soul, a deep peace that settles in your spirit, knowing that God is in control and that you do not have to shoulder the burden any longer. The enemy wants to make you believe that your struggle is a sign of defeat, that your exhaustion means you failed, and that your tiredness disqualifies you from the promises God has for you. But that is a lie. The very exhaustion you feel is evidence that you are close to your breakthrough. It is in the depths of your struggle that God is preparing you for the victory that is to come. Don't let the enemy convince you that your fatigue disqualifies you from your destiny. It's not the exhaustion that defines you, it's how you rise from it. Every moment you feel like you're too tired to keep going, every time you feel like you've reached your limit, remember this: it's in those moments that God's strength is most visible. He doesn't need you to be strong all the time. He just needs you to trust Him, to surrender, and to rest in His presence. The exhaustion you feel is part of the process. It's not an indication that you're failing. It's proof that you've been doing the hard work, carrying the weight that others cannot see. And God sees it. He sees every tear, every moment of despair, every time you kept going even when you felt like giving up. He honors your perseverance. But he also knows that there are times when you need to stop, when you need to rest, and allow him to restore you. Your breakthrough is close, and in these moments of rest, you are being equipped for what's to come. So, when you find yourself weary, when the weight of the world feels too heavy to bear, don't be afraid to embrace the rest that God offers. Don't be afraid to surrender your burden and let him carry you. Rest is not a sign of failure. It is an invitation to pause and allow God to move in your life. It is in this surrender that your breakthrough is being prepared. In these quiet moments, God is working behind the scenes, setting up everything you need for the next chapter of your journey. Remember that God's presence is constant, even when you feel alone in your struggle. He is sitting with you in your pain, offering you grace and mercy. His presence is not dependent on how you feel. It is steady and unwavering, a constant source of comfort and strength. When you rest, you are not giving up. You are allowing God to take over, trusting that he will carry you through the storm. And know this, your breakthrough is near. Don't let the enemy make you believe that your exhaustion disqualifies you from your purpose. The very fact that you are still standing, still fighting, still holding on, is evidence that you are closer than ever to the breakthrough God has promised you. So embrace the rest, trust in God's presence, and remember that your breakthrough is coming. Your strength, your peace, and your victory are already on the way. Rest, in its truest form, is not about stepping away from the fight. It is about surrendering the weight of that fight to God. True rest is an act of divine resistance, a powerful declaration that you are trusting God in the very midst of your struggle. When you rest, you are not giving up. You are choosing to trust that God can carry what you cannot. In a world that thrives on constant motion, where productivity is often equated with worth, resting might feel like an act of rebellion. But in the spiritual realm, rest is a profound act of resistance against the lie that you must fight, strive, and struggle on your own. The constant pressure to keep going, to never slow down, and to push through every challenge without pause can be suffocating. The world tells you to just keep going, to shake it off and power through. But the truth is, there's power in rest. When you rest in God, you are not retreating from the battle. You are strategically stepping back to allow him to take the reins. Rest is not weakness. It is an intentional choice to hand over the burdens that weigh you down, trusting that God will fight the battles for you. It is the moment when you stop trying to carry everything by yourself, when you let go of the false belief that you must be the one to handle every burden. By resting, you allow God to take what was never meant for you to bear alone. You make room for his strength, his mercy, and his grace to flow into the very places of your heart that have been wounded by the fight. In your darkest moments, when everything around you feels uncertain and the weight of the world seems unbearable, know that God is present. His presence is constant, even when you don't feel it, even when the silence around you feels deafening. The truth is, when you are lying in that bed of exhaustion, feeling paralyzed by the weight of your struggles, God is sitting right beside you. He is not distant, he is not absent, he is right there in the stillness. When you feel that you have nothing left to give, when you're unsure how you'll continue, God is watching over you with compassion, offering mercy and grace that are greater than anything you can imagine. God's presence doesn't disappear when you're struggling or when you feel overwhelmed. He is not only with you in your moments of triumph, but also in your times of quiet pain. He sees every tear, every sigh, every moment of fatigue that others may not notice. His presence is not bound by your emotions or your circumstances. It is constant, it is steady, it is unwavering. Even when you feel alone, even when you feel like you're drowning in your exhaustion, God is with you, and he is extending his hand to lift you up. You may not always sense it, but his love surrounds you, his peace covers you, and his mercy is poured out upon you in those moments of quiet struggle. When you choose to rest, you open yourself up to his presence in a way that makes room for his healing and his strength. The very fact that you are still here, still holding on, despite everything you've been through, is evidence that you are on the brink of something powerful. Your exhaustion is not a sign of failure, it is a sign that you are close to your breakthrough. You may feel like you are at your lowest point, but in reality, you are standing on the precipice of something great. Just as a seed must be buried in the dark soil before it can sprout and grow, so too are you in a moment of preparation. Your struggle has not been in vain. Every tear, every moment of feeling overwhelmed, every time you thought you couldn't keep going, has been shaping you for what's next. Do not let the enemy convince you that your fatigue disqualifies you from your purpose. He would love for you to believe that your exhaustion means you've failed, that your struggle means you are unworthy of God's promises. But that is a lie. The truth is, your weariness is proof that you are carrying something heavy and sacred, something worth fighting for. The battle you are facing is not random, it is part of a divine plan. Every ounce of your exhaustion is a mark of your endurance, a testament to the strength God has placed in you, and a reminder that you are not alone in this fight. God has not abandoned you in your weariness. In fact, He is using this time of rest and surrender to prepare you for the victory that is just ahead. The quiet moments of exhaustion are not wasted. They are moments of divine preparation. God is using this time to refresh you, to restore you, and to equip you for what's to come. Just as the phoenix rises from the ashes, so too will you rise from the depths of your struggle stronger, wiser, and more empowered than before. The fire you've been through has refined you, and now, you are ready for the next phase of your journey. But for now, rest. Take the time you need to surrender to God, to let go of the burdens that have been weighing you down, and allow Him to carry what you cannot. Rest is not a passive act. It is an active decision to trust God in the midst of your struggle. It is an act of resistance against the lie that you must do everything on your own. By resting, you are choosing to trust that God will bring the victory, even when you cannot see it. You are choosing to allow Him to fight for you, to work in you, and to prepare you for the breakthrough that is coming. The invitation to rise is not just about physical strength or the ability to push through despite exhaustion. It's about choosing to rise spiritually, emotionally, and mentally, knowing that God is with you. Your fatigue does not disqualify you from your destiny. In fact, it is often in our weakest moments that God's strength is most evident. The very moments when you feel the most broken are the moments when God's power is working through you the most. It's when you are exhausted, when you are weary, that God's grace covers you, and His strength fills you. The struggles you've faced are not signs of defeat, they are the forging of your purpose. You are becoming the person God has called you to be, and everything you've been through has been a part of the process. So don't give in to the enemy's lies that tell you that your exhaustion disqualifies you. You are not defeated. You are being prepared. This is not the end. This is the beginning of something far greater than you can imagine. You are not alone in this fight. Rest in God's presence, trust in His timing, and rise knowing that your breakthrough is closer than you think. Even in your moments of rest, you are being prepared for victory. Embrace the stillness, trust in God's presence, and let Him renew your strength. Your breakthrough is coming, and when it does, it will be greater than you could ever have imagined. In the midst of all the struggle, the exhaustion, and the silent battles, there is a deeper truth that cannot be ignored. The moments of stillness, the times when it feels like nothing is happening, are not your downfall. They are the very places where your strength is being forged. Every moment of hardship, every tear you've shed, every time you felt like you couldn't go on, is a part of the process that is shaping you into the person God has called you to be. What you see as weakness, God sees as a necessary refining. In the furnace of your pain, He is refining your character, building your resilience, and preparing you for the breakthrough that is just ahead. The hidden power in your struggle is not something that can be seen from the outside. It's not something that anyone else can understand unless they've walked through their own battles. But in those moments when you feel at your lowest, when the weight of the world seems unbearable, God is working behind the scenes. The silence is not a sign that you are stuck. It is a sign that something powerful is happening beneath the surface. Just as gold must be purified in the fire, so too are you being purified and made stronger through your struggles. You are becoming someone who can stand firm, who can rise above the storm, who can endure with strength and grace. You may not see it yet, but in this very moment, God is preparing you for something extraordinary. You are becoming the person you were always meant to be, and this process is necessary. Without the pressure, without the struggle, without the exhaustion, you wouldn't be ready for the purpose that lies ahead. You wouldn't have the strength to handle the weight of the calling that is yours to carry. It is through this struggle that you are being equipped for what God has planned for you. It's easy to look at the pain and the fatigue and feel defeated, but the truth is, you are being shaped for greatness. Every hardship, every difficult moment, is a building block in the story that God is writing for you. This is not the end, this is the preparation for your breakthrough. You are not weak, you are becoming stronger than you can imagine, and through this process, God is revealing to you the depth of your strength, your resilience, and your purpose. You may feel like you're standing on the edge, looking down into the abyss of uncertainty. But know this, your breakthrough is near. Just as the phoenix rises from the ashes, so too will you rise from the ashes of your pain, your exhaustion, and your weariness. Every tear you've shed, every moment of hopelessness, every time you felt like you were drowning in the weight of it all, has been preparing you for this moment. Your breakthrough is not only inevitable, it is coming at the perfect time. You are not stuck. You are not defeated. You are being prepared for what's ahead. And the struggle you are facing right now is just the beginning of something extraordinary. Imagine the phoenix, consumed by flames, yet rising from the ashes with renewed strength, more beautiful and powerful than before. This is the picture of your journey. The fire you've walked through, the pain you've endured, is not in vain. It is a part of the divine process that will transform you into the person you were always meant to become. You will rise stronger than ever before, and your breakthrough will come at the moment when you least expect it. The storm will pass, the darkness will lift, and you will stand victorious on the other side of it all. So, I urge you, don't give up. You are not done yet. The road may be long, and the battles may feel endless, but you are becoming something greater than you could ever imagine. You are not defined by your exhaustion, by your pain, or by the struggles you face. You are defined by the purpose that God has placed in your heart, by the strength that He has given you, and by the victory that is coming. Every tear you've cried is a seed for your breakthrough. Every time you felt like giving up, but kept going anyway, has been a victory. You are building resilience, you are building strength, and you are building faith. Your story is not just your own. It is a testimony for others. You are not walking through this struggle in vain. As you rise, as you embrace your breakthrough, you will become a living testimony to others who are walking their own difficult paths. Your journey, your perseverance, and your ultimate triumph will inspire others to keep going, to trust in God, and to believe that their breakthrough is coming too. Your story will be a beacon of hope, a reminder that no matter how dark the night, the dawn is always near. So, stand up, even if you're trembling. Rise, even if you feel like you have nothing left to give. Because the fact that you are still here, still fighting, still holding on, is proof that your breakthrough is closer than you think. Your victory is coming, and when it does, it will be more glorious than you can imagine. The pain you're experiencing right now is not your final destination. It is the preparation for the next chapter of your life. Don't let the enemy convince you that your fatigue disqualifies you from your destiny. The very fact that you are still here, still moving forward, is proof that you are destined for greatness. You are becoming. You are being transformed. You are being prepared for the purpose God has designed for you. And when you rise, when you step into your breakthrough, you will be everything you were always meant to be: stronger, wiser, more resilient, and more capable than you ever imagined. Keep going, keep rising, because your breakthrough is on the horizon, and it will change everything.